Welcome to tonight's organizational meeting. The purpose of tonight's meeting is to elect a new Board of Trustees chair, vice chair, treasurer, and secretary. Each officer will serve a 2-year term beginning immediately. After all the officers are elected, I will hand the meeting over to the new board chair to run. Trustees may nominate themselves, and they also may vote for themselves. Okay, I will now entertain nominations for the office of board chair.
I would like to start it off.
Ruth?
I'd like to nominate Christine Fleming.
Okay, Trustee Fleming has received a nomination for the office of chair. Are there any other nominations?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Bill Milligan.
Trustee Milliken has received a nomination for the office of chair. Are there any further nominations?
This is Trustee Davis. I'd like to nominate Bill Milliken for chair.
Well, he's already nominated.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Okay. If there are no more nominations, I will entertain a motion to close nominations.
So moved.
So moved.
And supported?
Support.
Okay. It is moved and seconded to close the nominations for the office of chair. Vanessa, please call the roll call for the vote to choose nominations. So nominations are closed now. So what will happen is Vanessa will call your name and you will indicate which nominee you would like to vote for chair. Okay, Vanessa?
Trustee Davis?
Yes.
Is there discussion?
No.
No. Not according to, oh wait, not according to my
I'm
rule.
sorry. Forgive me. Okay, I'm gonna start over. I got distracted, and I did not hear. I just heard my name, so.
So right now, we're gonna vote to close the nominations. I see Larry's face looking at me. Is that correct, Larry?
Yes.
Okay. Trustee Davis, it's a yes or no?
Yes.
No, it's not yes or no. What it is, Vanessa, is they name the person that they are voting for.
No, we have to close the nominations first.
Yeah, before we take the vote on who's going to be chair, we should vote to close nominations.
Oh, we didn't, I thought we did that. I'm sorry. I entertain a motion to close nominations. I apologize. I thought we did that.
So moved.
So move. Who made that motion?
Oh, I did.
Okay, is there a seconded by trustee?
Second.
Okay, by Ruth, trustee Hatcher. Okay. It is moved and seconded to close the nominations for the office of chair. Vanessa, please call the roll call vote to close nominations. That's what you're right. Okay, you're right.
Trustee Davis?
Yes.
Trustee DeVarty?
DeVarty, yes.
Trustee Fleming?
Fleming, yes.
Trustee Hatcher?
Hatcher, yes.
Trustee Landau?
Landau, yes.
Trustee McKnight Morton?
McKnight Morton, yes.
Trustee Milliken?
You're on mute.
Milliken, yes.
Okay, nominations are now closed. A roll call vote will be taken to elect the new chair. As each trustee's name is called, please cast your vote for the trustees nominated for the office of chair. Is that correct, Larry? I want to make sure.
Yes. So each person obviously votes for one person, either Fleming or Milliken, trustee Fleming or trustee Milliken.
And so do we, so is it by name? For example, if I say trustee Davis, she makes a selection, correct? When I call her name?
Yeah, actually, Vanessa will call the roll.
Okay, Vanessa, call the roll.
Trustee Davis?
You're muted, Angela.
So I say who I want?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Trustee Milliken.
Trustee DeVarty,
First of all, I want to say both of these are good choices, but I'm going to vote, I think Christina's done a great job, and I'm going to vote for Christina again.
Trustee Fleming,
Fleming votes for Milliken.
Hatcher, Trustee Hatcher, I'm sorry.
Hatcher, Fleming.
Trustee Landau,
Landau, Milliken.
Trustee McKnight Morton,
McKnight Morton Milliken.
Trustee Milliken.
Trustee Milliken, Milliken.
Vanessa, please read the results.
Trustee Milliken has won the vote. I have a vote to 5-2.
Okay. Congratulations, Trustee Board Chair Milliken.
Thank you, President Blanca.
Okay. I will now entertain nominations for the office of Board Vice Chair.
I would like to nominate Angela Davis.
Okay. And Trustee Davis has received a nomination for the office of Vice Chair. Are there any further nominations?
I move that we close nominations.
Motion to close.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All right, Vanessa, please call the roll call vote to close nominations.
Trustee Davis,
Yes.
Trustee DeVarty,
DeVarty, yes.
Trustee Fleming,
Fleming, yes.
Trustee Hatcher,
Hatcher, yes.
Trustee Landau,
Landau, yes.
Trustee McKnight Morton,
McKnight Morton, yes.
Chair Milliken.
Milliken, yes.
Congratulations, Vice Chair Davis.
Well, we should vote, even though there's only one nominee, we should still do a roll call vote.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Davis,
Yes.
Davis.
Davis. Trustee DeVarty,
DeVarty votes Davis.
Trustee Fleming,
Fleming votes Davis.
Trustee Hatcher,
Hatcher votes Davis.
Trustee Landau,
Landau, Davis.
Trustee McKnight Morton,
McKnight Morton Davis.
Chair Milliken.
Milliken, Davis.
Congratulations, Trustee Davis. You are now the Vice Chair.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will now entertain nominations for the office of Treasurer. Is there a nomination for the office of Treasurer?
I
I'd like
nominate
to
Dave DeVarty.
Okay. Trustee Landau nominated David DeVarty. Are there any other nominations for the office of Treasurer?
I move to close the nominations.
Second,
Board,
Okay. Vanessa, please call the roll call vote to close the nominations.
Vice Chair Davis,
Davis, yes.
Trustee DeVarty,
DeVarty, yes.
Trustee Fleming,
Fleming, yes.
Trustee Hatcher,
Hatcher, yes.
Trustee Landau,
Landau, yes.
Trustee McKnight Morton,
McKnight Morton, yes.
Chair Milliken.
Milliken, yes.
Okay, nominations are now closed. And now we go for the vote, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Vice Chair Davis,
Yes.
what we are saying is that that you support or do not support Trustee DeVarty as treasurer.
Yes, I do support. trustee DeVarty to be the treasurer.
Thank you.
Trustee DeVarty,
DeVarty accepts the honor and votes for DeVarty.
trustee Fleming,
Fleming votes for DeVarty.
trustee Hatcher,
Hatcher DeVarty.
trustee Landau,
Landau DeVarty.
trustee McKnight Morton,
McKnight Morton DeVarty.
Chair Milliken.
Milliken, DeVarty.
Congratulations for Treasurer David DeVarty. Thank you. Okay, Secretary election. I will now entertain nominations for the office of Board Secretary.
I'd like to nominate trustee Hatcher for secretary.
Okay, Trustee Hatcher has been nominated.
Second it.
Are there any other nominations?
I move to close nominations.
Okay, is there a second?
Second,
Second,
Okay, it's moved and second to close the nominations for the office of Secretary. Vanessa, please call the roll call vote to close
Vice Chair.
nominations.
Vice Chair Davis,
Yes.
Treasurer DeVarty,
DeVarty, yes.
trustee Fleming,
Fleming, yes.
trustee Hatcher,
Hatcher.
trustee Landau,
We're voting on
Close
the
nominations.
The closed nominations.
close nomination. Yes.
Oh, yes, sorry.
trustee McKnight Morton,
yes.
Chair Milliken.
Milliken, yes.
Okay, nominations are now closed. Vanessa, will you please have a roll call vote to elect the new secretary?
Vice Chair Davis,
Davis Hatcher.
Treasurer DeVarty,
DeVarty, Ruth Hatcher.
trustee Fleming,
Fleming votes Hatcher.
trustee Hatcher,
Hatcher.
trustee Landau,
Landau Hatcher.
trustee McKnight Morton,
McKnight Morton Hatcher.
Chair Milliken.
Milliken, Hatcher.
Well, congratulations to all the new board elected officials. I look forward to working with you as well as the other trustees. So thank you so much. And thank you, Chair Fleming. It's been an honor and a privilege to work with you as board chair over the last 2 years. You've overseen a lot of changes at the college, and you've led us through discussions and a lot of dialogue, and you listened to all the constituents, and I appreciate everything that you did. Thank you so very much. And if we had a gavel that we could give you through the Zoom, you'd be given it right now. But we will make sure that happens at the appropriate time. Maybe we'll have a drive-by party. With that, I'd like to congratulate you, Chair Milliken, and I now turn the meeting over to you.
Thank you, President Blanca. You're quite an act to follow, and I'll do my best. I've
Okay,
been watching former trustee Chair Hatcher preside over our meetings for the last couple of years, and we'll try and bring all these skills to bear to run an equally good meeting. I now entertain a motion to adjourn this organizational meeting and call to order the January monthly meeting of the Board of Trustees. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Vanessa, would you call the roll, please?
Chair Milliken,
Milliken, yes.
Vice Chair Davis,
Davis, yes.
Treasurer DeVarty,
DeVarty, yes.
Secretary Hatcher,
Hatcher, yes.
trustee Fleming,
Fleming, yes.
trustee Landau,
Landau, yes.
trustee McKnight Morton.
You're muted, Diana.
Sorry, yes.
Well, I think the ayes have it, and I welcome you all to our regular monthly Board of Trustees meeting. We have an agenda in front of us, which I would accept a motion to approve, please.
Move to accept the agenda.
Support.
Vanessa, would you call the roll?
Chair Milliken,
Milliken, yes.
Vice Chair Davis,
Davis, yes.
Treasurer DeVarty,
DeVarty, yes.
Secretary Hatcher,
Hatcher, yes.
Trustee Fleming,
Fleming, yes.
Trustee Landau,
Landau, yes.
Trustee McKnight Morton.
McKnight Morton, yes.
On our agenda, we have tab A in front of us. The recommendation is that the Board of Trustees adopt and publish the calendar of regular meetings for 2021 and 2022, as indicated on the attached sheets, with the exceptions as indicated in italics. The fourth Tuesday of each month is established as the regular monthly meeting at 6 o'clock remotely due to health considerations for the time being. And at some point it'll be deemed safe to convene again in room 150 of the Morris Lawrence building. Do I hear a motion in support?
So move.
Second.
Support.
Vanessa, would you call the roll, please?
Chair Milliken,
Milliken, yes.
Vice Chair Davis,
Davis, yes.
Treasurer DeVarty,
DeVarty, yes.
Secretary Hatcher,
Hatcher, yes.
Trustee Fleming,
Fleming, yes.
Trustee Landau,
Landau, yes.
Trustee McKnight Morton.
Yes. McKnight Morton, yes.
And Vanessa did advise us of one change from the original iteration of this schedule in next year, 2022. The July meeting is July 27th, not July 26th. We duly note that. Tab B is, the agenda is our calendar of monthly meetings. It incorporates all of our board meetings as well as other WCC events. There's plenty to do to post all of these on our calendar. Thank you for supplying those.
I've got a question on this.
Trustee DeVarty, yes.
I'm seeing the training weeks for iron workers. Is that, are those for sure or tentative due to the pandemic?
They are tentative due to the pandemic.
Okay. But those, so we should hold those dates out for the time being, and
Yes,
the health situation requires those will not happen.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me, but from what I saw from Governor Whitmer last week is that virtual meetings are to continue until the end of the year.
The end of 2021?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Well, those may be subject to change. We'll stay posted.
Yep.
Tab C on our agenda is biographical background on each of us. If we're reflecting any errors there, please be sure and let Vanessa know. But we've got a lot of credentials behind us. That's good to see. And tab D is list of trustees and their remaining terms, along with all of our respective addresses. If there are any errors in your information on this sheet, please advise Vanessa of those as well.
A comment? In the last term,
Trustee Hatcher, sorry.
yeah, the last 6 years, the only thing I had to add to my bio was that I suddenly had 3 grandchildren. And maybe by the end of this term, I'll have 6. You never know.
Well, congratulations on that. We have some trustee assignments for the trustees to participate in various college activities. We have the MCCA liaison. We have the ACCT delegate, the WTMC liaison, WCC Foundation liaison, SEMCOG liaison, and honorary associate degree in community service committee. And what I would appreciate your doing is taking a look at these lists and send me an email if you're interested in an assignment, and send that to me prior to our meeting on February 12th. And the assignments will incorporate in the February board materials. Any questions on that from anybody?
I've got a question.
Trustee DeVarty.
The honorary associate degree in community service committee, who's on that committee?
Dr. Blanca, can you help us with that?
Well, I remember the last time I think you were on it, David, and Ruth, right? I don't remember David and Diana. I don't remember. We didn't do it this year. We didn't give an honorary degree this year. So
Oh, yes.
I don't think we called, did we?
Oh, I remember a meeting a couple years ago.
Yes, it's that,
Discussed the honorary degree, associate degree from
correct.
college.
Yep.
Who then was a speaker also, or a recipient and a brief speaker at our graduation. Now, okay, yeah, we didn't do it this year, but I remember from the previous years.
Thank you.
Is that, how many of us serve on that committee?
Usually 2 or 3, 2.
So
Three.
really,
It's whatever.
anybody who wants to can do it.
Yes.
Okay.
Any further discussion? If not, tab E, the minutes of our last meeting. Do I hear a motion to approve of the minutes?
So moved.
I got a motion and I've got support. Is there any discussion, any corrections to the minutes?
Yeah, I think I have a correction.
Trustee Hatcher.
Under citizen participation, it lists WCCEA, and in the narrative, it's WCCEAS. And so the S should probably come off. It's rather tiny amendment, but there you are. I don't know if Vanessa can find it or not.
Duly noted. We'll ask that the minutes be corrected to reflect that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Citizen participation in tab F.
We have to approve the minutes?
I think we should. Thank you. Vanessa, would you call the roll, please?
Chair Milliken,
Milliken, yes.
Vice Chair Davis,
Davis, yes.
Treasurer DeVarty,
DeVarty, yes.
Secretary Hatcher,
Hatcher, yes.
Trustee Fleming,
Fleming, yes.
Trustee Landau,
Landau, yes.
Trustee McKnight Morton.
McKnight Morton, yes.
Minutes stand approved. Citizen participation. Speaking of the WCC Education Association, Ms. Kissel, are you with us?
I am. So let me start by thanking, of course, former Chair Fleming for all of her efforts over the last few years, and congratulations to you, Chair Milliken.
Thank you.
So it is January 2021, and this new year has already been a mix of emotions as our nation continues to grapple with stressors never imagined. And of course, this follows us to the workplace, whether we're on campus or working from home. But thankfully, there is comfort knowing that there are vaccines available but we're all frustrated that we've not received any clear word on when many of us will be eligible to receive them. So wondering about the vaccine or about the new COVID variant, this has placed additional pressure on the membership as we look to greater on-campus presence possibilities in the fall. The WCCEA continues to collect and ask questions throughout this process, hoping to mitigate risks early. There is also stress related to student enrollment. In some areas, enrollment and/or industry changes have altered course loads, and some worry about what a sustained contraction will do to their positions. In other areas of the college, full-time, adjunct, and part-time staff and faculty have been pushed to contractual limits. The WCCEA remains committed to making certain that faculty and staff positions are filled and managed so that the work of the college can be done well. Regarding WCCEA contract issues, last month I referred to one active grievance. We are continuing our conversations about this and may be able to reach a resolution to avoid a lengthy arbitration. There is a second grievance that was recently filed, but again, through collaborative efforts, there may be room for a resolution for this as well. Along with the grievances, the WCCEA is working to clarify issues related to adjunct faculty. And since the negotiations for the adjunct contract will not happen until 2023, there is time to consider and implement new processes that will better align with the needs of each area of the college. So, really, I'm an optimist at heart, maybe a little bit more cynical as I get older, but I must continue to believe in all that is good and just. So as we're starting a new year, I see value in going back to the contract that underpins the work of the WCCEA and the administration. And that is to promote a working relationship which improves morale, reduces stress, provides for more effectiveness and efficiency, and produces quality education and service to students. So we will continue to do our best to adhere to this each day, and we will face our uncertain future with strength and resolve. Thank you very much. Have a good evening, everyone.
Very nice.
Any questions of Ms. Kissel? If not, Vanessa, were there any public comments that you have to share with us?
Nope, there was no public comments.
Are there any written communications?
There was no written communications received.
Special reports next on our agenda. And we turn to President Belanca for her thoughts on the state of the college, please.
Thank you, Trustee Milliken. This evening, I will be sharing with the board the remarks that I shared with the faculty and staff at the beginning of January to welcome a new semester and a new year. Throughout the remarks actually discuss all of the accomplishments or many of the accomplishments that we were able to see through during the past year. And I want to thank the board because, we talk about collaboration, the collaboration of the faculty, the collaboration of the staff, the collaboration of the students, the collaboration of the administration. But it really takes a strong collaborative board that's willing to work together, and that helps make all of this possible. So I hope while you watch these remarks that you feel the same pride in what you've done and what your colleagues have done that I feel in terms of what you've done as well as what my colleagues have done at the college. With that, I'd like to share the State of the College address along with the goals the upcoming year. Vanessa?
Hello, welcome to 2021. I hope you enjoyed a restful break. I'm deeply grateful for your commitment to creating a brighter future for our students and our community during a time of unprecedented change. What happens at WCC, does not happen everywhere. This college is special. It really is. And it's special because of you and everything you do to support our students' career and life journeys. Today, I will highlight several accomplishments that we've achieved together during the most unbelievable 2019-2020 academic year. I would also like to provide a glimpse of our plans for the year ahead. I'd like to begin by sharing a few stories of our students. Students like Ali Kermasha, one of 50 community college students nationwide to receive a $40,000 undergraduate scholarship at Michigan State University. Students and graduates like Emily Sengi and Maximilian Ehinger, who shot for the stars and were both selected to participate in the 2020 NASA College Aerospace Scholarship Program. And stories like Delphine Reed's, a student and a client of the Entrepreneur Center's Entrepreneurs in Residence program, where she gained confidence, courage, and guidance to develop a business as a new author, and she was able to share her incredible journey to help and inspire others. You know, students thrive because of you, and their stories and potential are limitless. And a lot more can be found on our annual report, and it's in the mail right now, being mailed to your homes, or you can see it online. But last year, we can all agree, was unlike any other. In March, that was a great day. Our community voted to restore WCC's operating millage by nearly a 78% margin. Did you know that the last time we went for the same millage, it was barely over 50%? That says a lot about the impact that we have been making to this community and how they appreciate the work that we're doing. This was the highest approval rate ever in the college's history, and a vote for us to keep up the good work. This community places trust in WCC to provide exceptional, affordable education to all students, to be a regional workforce training engine, and to deliver professional and personal enrichment programs for lifelong learning. Our greatest work continued last year as we helped thousands of students create a brighter future for themselves. Do you know that WCC served over 21,000 students? Of that, we gave out 1,488 degrees, over 3,000 certificates and degrees total, and 2,000 certificates. And our students come from diverse backgrounds. And like many of us, over 5,000 were first-generation college students, 923 single parents, 698 students with disabilities, and 578 veterans. What does that say about what we do? I don't know about you, but it makes me feel pretty darn good. We did all this with affordable and accessible instruction. We were consistent. We offered a $95 credit hour for in-district tuition. We have frozen our tuition for the last 3 years, and we froze it for 2020 and 2021. But not only that, we realized that there was a disparity between the two tuition rates. So we decided, since our students didn't have a choice, to reduce the in-district tuition distance learning to match on-campus tuition rates. And all of this generates $525 million in annual economic impact for Washtenaw County. We live our mission. You know, our mission is that our college strives to make a positive difference in people's lives. And these words are key. Through accessible and educational programs and services. And actually, these are the words that best describe what it took to support our students during the challenge of the pandemic. You know, this mission statement was written over 20 years ago, and we look at it and revisit it annually. And we always say, oh my gosh, it's such a good mission statement because it says what we mean and what we do. But you know, I wonder, when they wrote that term accessible, what do you think they meant by accessible? They might have meant, oh, a campus that was driving distance. They might have meant good parking. They might have meant the way the pathways were accessible to the different classrooms. They might have meant affordable. They might have meant for any type of disability or any type of learning style. What do you think they meant now? What did the pandemic, how did the pandemic spin the term accessible? We never thought, I'm sure they never thought it would be this. They never thought accessible would have meant how to deliver the best online and hybrid program possible to meet our students' needs while keeping the safety and security of our students, our faculty, and our staff, and our community as a very top priority. I am proud, so proud, that we live that word in everything we do. And that was done because of our collaboration. We had a commitment. We committed to our own continued learning. And because we committed to that continued learning through our Center for Teaching and Learning and through the different opportunities that we've had throughout the years, from our professional development opportunities that the faculty and the Center for Teaching and Learning have put in place, we were able to build and teach more than 200 online classes in a matter of days, literally days. You probably remember that. And we developed a virtual classroom model, mirroring an on-campus experience for students. That took a lot of compassion. It took a lot of your compassion. And it took each of our compassion, because we had to have patience to work with everyone, because we needed to recognize and remove barriers that the students had to have to continue their education during a pandemic. But not only just the students' barriers. I don't know about you, but I had a few myself. There were a lot of things I needed to learn. And you know what? The entire WCC team stepped in to help. The WCC Foundation also helped with Accessible. Do you know that they nearly doubled their scholarships this past year? They had 2,206 scholarships that totaled $1.5 million. And not only that, they really racked up that Student Emergency Fund awards, distributing over $45,000 to support food, rent, transportation, utility bills, and other emergency needs to help our students remain in school. The Bailey Library connected with students with loaner laptops and internet hotspots. And student services went virtual with advising, counseling, financial aid, library placement, tutoring, and much, much more. Student activities moved online with club meetings, dance parties, and talent shows. I had no idea that you could have a dance party virtually. Did you? And you should check out our new esports program. We're competing online. It's amazing. Our talent shows online. That's how we've come together to keep our students engaged. And I'm very, very grateful, and we should all be proud of this. And information technology, thank you. What would we have done without them? They swiftly configured our laptops across the college for secure network use at home. And more than 3,200 students benefited from $3.37 million in Federal CARES Act funding. And let's not forget our essential worker heroes. There were people on campus since the beginning of this pandemic work at home in March. Our facilities, our grounds, and our public safety, they were our essential worker heroes. Since June 1st, public safety team members throughout the campus recorded more than 60,000 screening check-ins. You know, they've been on campus every day since March, keeping the campus safe. Our facilities and grounds people have kept it clean and functioning properly with cleaning standards that have changed because of the pandemic. I can't thank them enough, and I know you can't either. And on top of all this, are you ready? Are you ready for the biggest news? And on top of all this, in April, WCC hosted a first ever virtual Higher Learning Commission Accreditation Reaffirmation Review with the 6-person review team engaging 100 faculty and staff. Thank you. Did you know that we were one of the first colleges that actually worked with the HLC doing this in a virtual environment? I'm excited to share with you that we have received our HLC accreditation through 2030. That's a remarkable achievement, and I credit all of you with that accomplishment. And it's great news for us as professionals, for our community, because they have a college that they know is great, and for our students, because you know the accreditation is what makes transferring easy for them. Another thing that differentiates WCC from other organizations is our collective passion for supporting the community, sharing our unique expertise and resources to help those in need to drive positive change. In the height of COVID-19 pandemic last winter, WCC cleared its health and science labs of thousands of face masks, gloves, surgical gowns, and equipment to support local hospitals. Instructor Tom Pinard fired up the WCC's 3D printing lab to produce 600 reusable medical masks for healthcare facilities and agencies in need. And more than 100 community members joined WCC's Personal Enrichment Department during free webinars on how to sew much-needed face masks. When summer classes all went virtual, WCC donated supplies from its student food pantry to the food gatherers to distribute to the community. And COVID-19 wasn't the only national emergency we faced locally. To educate and encourage conversation over an extremely important topic on positive change around systemic racism and injustice, WCC hosted a 5-part series for the community entitled Race and Ethnic Relations. More than 700 people attended this free virtual event. And since then, more than 300 have viewed the series online. And nothing stopped STEAM Week. It was full steam ahead. 600 students from 8 high schools descended upon WCC's campus to learn about STEAM careers from faculty. This special event would not have been possible if it weren't for the 33 faculty members and staff that managed every detail of the successful experience for young people. I'm so proud of this work and all our partnerships to support the community. The impact WCC has because of you is far-reaching and life-changing. WCC was nationally recognized for many programs and introduced new opportunities for students to reach their full potential, thanks to our hardworking faculty and staff. Did you know that we were named a National Center of Academic Excellence in Cybersecurity by the United States National Security Agency and the Department of Homeland Security? That is quite an honor, and we are being nationally recognized because of that. WCC STEM Scholars program received the Liberal Arts Network for Developmental Institutional Excellence Award. And this STEM-based program was created to encourage STEM-based careers and grew more than 45% this year to 45 students. And our Child Development Program received a first-time accreditation by the National Association for the Education of Young Children. And in addition to all of that, we introduced 5 new certificates and 2 new associate degree programs in subjects including basic and advanced business enterprise, management, medical assisting, advanced transportation, and automotive cybersecurity. Fueling a regional workforce is one of the key roles that we have as a community college. That's really what helps a community improve the quality of its life. And that's what really attracts employers to the area. It helps retain workers in the area, but it also means helping students, alumni, and community find their next career opportunity and advance their career potential. Our career transitions team counseled more than 1,000 individuals. We had more than 100 workshops. Listen to this. We helped individuals secure 102 job placements and 97 internships. And we attracted more than 300 participants and 120 companies in the new Spring Fall Career and Internship Fair. Nearly 4,000 members of 4 international trade unions converged upon WCC's campus for instructors training. We really miss them this year, and we're looking forward, hopefully, to seeing them again next year. But in the year 1920, this visit with the members of the United Association, the Iron Workers, the Operative Plasters, and Cement Masons International Association, and the United Union of Roofers generated more than $13 million of economic impact to Washtenaw County. And the good news is the Iron Workers agreed to extend their visits through 2024. WCC also responded by creating 1,200 new online apprenticeship classes for the United Association. And we enrolled more than 100 apprenticeships in either a degree or certificate program, which resulted in the college earning a Workforce Intelligence Initiative grant. Our commitment to serving vulnerable communities in eastern Washtenaw County runs deep with the city of Ypsilanti, the Ypsilanti Township Center, and the Washtenaw Intermediate School District. Via community outreach at the Parkridge Center and at Harriet Street facilities, we provided after-school program summer camps, including tutoring, STEM discovery, youth leadership, GED, and ESL instruction, and job readiness training to nearly, listen to this number, 500 area youth and senior citizens. WCC continued to host and operate the Washtenaw Economic Club to deliver year-round professional development and networking and learning opportunities, discussing issues that impact economic prosperity. WCC hosted the first ever Michigan Community College Gender and Sexuality Conference for students, faculty, staff, and friends from 28 community colleges statewide, focused on LGBTQ+ issues and their impact on students and the college, and had ideas and support generated, which was a wonderful opportunity for all. In the last academic year, WCC provided over $380,000 in free community classes for county residents age 65 or over. We also play an essential role in anticipating and responding to emerging careers by listening to and developing innovations to fuel economic development and the talent pipeline that our county, our region, and our state, and even our nation depends on. WCC's new automotive cybersecurity certificate, introduced last summer, is a great example of the college working across divisions to create, innovate, and provide responsive programs. Computer science and information technology divisions paired up with the transportation technologies division to create this innovative programming. And it's a program that's at the heart of the WCC's Advanced Transportation Center. Alongside world leaders in intelligent transportation centers, WCC's Advanced Transportation Center continues to evolve as a state and national leader in mobility education. A thriving economy needs strong businesses and business leaders. WCC's Entrepreneurship Center served more than 300 new clients and budding entrepreneurs, including students, faculty, staff, and the greater community. Recognizing a crucial need for trained medical assistants, WCC partnered with 2 large regional healthcare organizations to help supply them with a qualified talent pool. Trained medical assistants were high in demand at IHA, a large multi-specialty medical group practice, and Michigan Medicine. And we worked with these partners to educate and place these positions after students completed 17 credits over 2 semesters, only 2 semesters in this targeted program. Nearly 6,000 students enrolled in non-credit classes last year. And these classes focused on workforce development, personal enrichment, and also contract training opportunities with business and industry. Regrettably, it's not possible to cover every amazing achievement, and there are many that WCC had last year in the time we have today. But you will find many more by checking out the annual report available online or the one you will soon receive at home. But before I close, I want to comment on what lies ahead for the remainder of the 2021 academic year. As you know, we're halfway through the fiscal year, and yet we have so much more to be excited about. So let's just take a look at the year ahead. One thing I know for sure, recent events in our world have caused us to act differently and to think differently. And our WCC team, our faculty, our staff, we've all risen to the challenge. And things that we never thought we'd do, like teach all classes online or work from home, are now somewhat normal or more routine for each of us and our students. This past year certainly has tested our mettle while driving us toward innovation and new ways of doing things. As difficult as a journey it was for each of us, I'm confident that what we learned from our experiences will make our college better, and that education as we know it will never be the same. As we look to the future, I always return to our mission and look forward to working together on the following priorities while continuing to build a brighter future together. Our number one top priority will continue to be the health, safety, and security of our faculty, staff, students and community as we move forward. We're going to continue to maintain a laser-like focus on student success. That's why we're here, raising the bar on student persistence, retention, completion, transfer, and job preparation. We're going to learn and work and live in an environment that places a priority on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we'll continue to position WCC as a leader in STEAM education, where the arts are extremely important. Speaking of arts, we're going to reimagine liberal arts, making transparent across the college the professional skills students are learning in all of their classes. And we're going to utilize data to begin conversations when making decisions across the organization. And I want to rephrase this because it's important. Data is not the end all to everything. It's the discussion. It begins discussions. So we will utilize that data to begin our conversation as we make decisions across the organization. And we're going to continue to refine virtual learning and make sure that we have the complete online campus experience for a student so that it mirrors exactly what a student would experience on campus. And now that we've been in a remote situation, we know more of that is possible. And we'll continue to expand apprenticeship and internship programs and opportunities for credit-seeking students, and customize employer-centered learning and skill development programs, which is what our employers want today and very important to placing our students in jobs. And we will continue to identify and expand opportunities to provide credit for prior learning to help students accelerate their education and entry or re-entry into the workforce. And actually, in summary, it's not really a summary, but these goals to me are the sustainability goals. And it really is about aligning sustainable development goals across the college. Sustainable goals is ensuring a quality education to make sure it's inclusive, equitable for all students, regardless of where they live. Think about the digital divide or the experiences they may have had or may have, and also promote lifelong learning for our residents or for people who need professional development. And professional development in itself is critical. Our own continuous learning and skill development across all areas of the college. And when you think about it, if we hadn't made that a priority over the past years, we wouldn't have been able to succeed as we did during the pandemic. And of course, our college has done tremendous work in looking at the environment. And we are going to continue progress on the college's sustainability plan as it's integrated in the curriculum and efforts across all of the campus. And sustainability in resources has never been more important. Sustainability for our students by raising more scholarships and emergency funds. Sustainability in the area of technology. Sustainable finance and what it takes to have sustainable facilities and what we need to sustain our grounds. And health. We have to sustain our health. We have to maintain an educational environment that supports the physical, mental, and social well-being of our students, but of also each other and our community members. And economic development has never been more important. Continued educational partnerships with K-12, business and industry, and nonprofit agencies. Yeah, I look forward to facing what's ahead of us together. And I want to thank each of you for watching today. I wish we were in person. I could hear your laughter, I could see your body language, and I miss you. And I want to thank you so much for your unwavering commitment, for doing what's best for the students and the community that we are all so privileged to serve. I hope you have an outstanding and a blessed 2021.
Thank you, Dr. Belanca. Does that conclude your remarks? The
I'd
state
be
of,
happy to know it does conclude my remarks.
all right.
But I do want you to know, I know it was long, and I apologize for that. It was such an exceptional year, and it really, we really needed to take the time to take a look at all the work everyone did. So thank you for, taking the time to watch it tonight, and I look forward to working on it with you. If you have any questions, feel free to call me anytime.
Well, that was an impressive report. The state of the college is certainly awesome. Did I understand you to say that in addition to the posting on the website that we'd be receiving print copies of these remarks?
Yes, you should have received yours already.
Okay.
Not necessarily the remarks, but the booklet that goes with it. But if you'd like the remarks, we can also send you the remarks. You received the hard copy of the what's right here. Here we go. This, can you see it? You should have all received
Yes.
this.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Good.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Any other questions for Dr. Belanca on the state of the college?
I have a few comments.
Getcher.
I remember, because I'm old, the development of that mission statement. It was more than 20 years ago. And maybe Linda Blakey remembers it. We had
She's old too.
maybe 20 round tables in the where Garrett's is now, with faculty and staff and students, and a whiteboard for everybody to put their comments on. And then Maureen Erickson from the English department put them together, and with some help from a few others wrote that mission statement, which has survived for more than 20 years because it's well done. I'd like to make a special thank you for the accreditation to Julie Morrison, who manages that so well and writes about that so well. So special kudos to Julie Morrison, and a reminder that professional development has exploded partially because it's now contractual. It's not voluntary. And I congratulate the MEA, the WCCA, for allowing that to take hold in the contract and benefit a lot of faculty, because that has exploded because they're required now to do a certain amount of professional development. So those three things, I think, were to underline what Dr. Belanca was saying. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Hatcher. Any other comments from any of the other trustees?
Well, I'd just like to say that Dr. Belanca really touched on areas that have been so, it's almost like we know what's going on, but we really hadn't heard. And other than reading something online or a bulletin, like. So her comments and giving us the information more in depth has really been helpful for me. And I understand that there's other things that has not been discussed, but maybe she'll do it later. about our police academy. And, you know, I mean, there's so many things that it's almost hard to pinpoint one without leaving something out that is just as equal important to share. And how well the faculty and staff have done a wonderful job and doing what they doing their job, I guess, but it had to go beyond because no one thought we'd be in this position. So I give a lot of respect to Dr. Belanca and bringing us into the 21st century, I want to say, because that's where we are. We have to continue to evolve and revolve all around us because so many things are happening around us constantly, daily. So that's my comments.
Thank you. Any other comments? The other special report that we have tonight is Parkridge Learning Lab, and AVP Tucker is standing by to give us a report.
Thank you, Chair Milliken. Hopefully share my screen appropriately here. Well, good evening, and thank you for allowing me to come before you to give you a very quick update on a special initiative that we have recently launched at our Parkridge Center. As you might know, that since the pandemic began in March, we saw that a number of our K-12 partners really were struggling to provide education virtually to their students. And there were a number of individuals that have approached the college to come together and to support what they saw was an amazing opportunity in Eastern Washtenaw County. There's a group, Collaboration for Change, and there were a few representatives from that group, Representative Ronnie Peterson, Superintendent Zachary Ross, who's actually with us tonight, and some others who approached WCC about applying the Learning Labs concept to our Parkridge Center. The Parkridge site, which launched nearly 3 weeks ago, is one of nearly 24 sites that are going to be stood up over the next month. However, it was the first site that launched, and that was mainly as they came to us seeking a facility, a safe place in which they could provide their virtual instruction for some students that really were having some challenges out in the community. As with anything that we do at the college, even though it was an extension site, we wanted to ensure that it was safe and that it was going to provide a healthy facility for these young children and our staff that were working within that facility. So as you have seen a number of contracts that went before the board, those same level of testing through those contractors related to air quality, industrial hygiene, related to spacing, was all provided at the Parkridge Center to ensure that, for one, the airflow was up to code, but then what would be the safest way that we would be able to position these young people across Parkridge. Thanks to the Barfield family, which many of you know in Ann Arbor, who've been a long time supporter of Parkridge through their foundation at the Ann Arbor Community Foundation, as well as the City of Ypsilanti and Washtenaw County, there's been a significant level of investment to the tune of almost $100,000 in renovations. So not only were we preparing the building to be safe, the students who pretty much have gone to this building, you know, for years in the summer and after school, when they came back, it would look significantly different, and it does. What you see here is just a quick diagram. If you've been to Parkridge, which I know many of you have, you know, it's a big facility. We usually have over 100 kids in the summer. Well, due to, of course, spacing and CDC requirements, we've broken it out into 3 rooms, our gymnasium and 2 rooms on each end, to be able to be safe in housing around 30 students who come there each and every day. We've implemented a number of safety measures that mirror what we do on main campus related to cleaning. There's daily temperature screening. So as you see, as we have these stations across a main campus, we had one installed at Parkridge so that anyone that comes in the door, of course, has their temperature checked. And then, of course, the social distancing plan, which I previously mentioned, and masks are mandatory at all times throughout the building. We wanted to focus on a group of students that we thought would be manageable. So we could not touch all of K-12, but we did pick K through 5. So essentially anyone who is a current YCS student, they had this opportunity marketed to them through the district, because once again, we're providing the facility, but the district is really leading this program. And we have a maximum of 30 at any given time. And it was interesting to note that while this opportunity was advertised to those parents, let's say 4 weeks ago, within about 3 or 4 days, there was an automatic wait list, which showed that there's a great need for this in the community. And of course, why the Learning Lab concept was stood up. It's important to note that because this is a partnership with Ypsilanti Schools, they provide the staffing support in each virtual learning classroom. So imagine students come in, they have their Chromebooks or their laptops that are provided by the school district, and they then log on as they would anywhere else with their teacher. A lot of times those students actually, run into issues or have questions. So those staff are there in each classroom to be able to provide them that technical assistance and just overall support, as well as supporting breakfast and lunch that's provided as they would if they were in a classroom, in their regular school. The team at YCS has assigned 2 administrators that support the overall learning lab concept. And then there's a site coordinator specific to Parkridge. And then we have allocated time for our manager of college and career readiness, Liz Garaba, who supports that infrastructure that happens each day at the building. There's been an average, highs and lows. Of course, some students come, one day and then they may not be there the next. There's been an average of about 22 students that attend daily. And really what we've seen is they have a strong ability to overcome what is a consistent barrier of student and teacher engagement. I happened to go the first day we launched, and I've been a few times each week. But the first day I was there, probably 2 hours after we got started, there was a teacher, you could hear it from the main foyer area, who was so excited about this student. I'm just going to call the student Johnny, don't know his name. But she said, "Johnny, we are so glad to see you. We've not seen you since March." So we know that some of these students, because of not having access to good Wi-Fi, because of maybe situations at home, they've not logged on since the pandemic started. And what we see at Parkridge is really us being able to respond to what are some needs out in the community. In addition to the day program, which is 9 to 3, their school day, the Collaboration for Change partners asked us to provide our regular after-school programming. Once again, only for those YCS students, because we want to contain exposure to the building. And from 3 to 6, 3 to 3:30, they get a snack. And then 3:30 to 6, our staff are provided tutoring in core areas, as well as some enrichment focused on health and wellness, and as well as, of course, educational games, which you'll see on the screen is a captured picture of that after-school program in motion. It's important to note that these services that we're providing are funded through a grant. So it's an extension of what we traditionally do at Parkridge. We're just able to do it in a unique way. Immediately when COVID hit back last year, we could not do our after-school program like we would traditionally do. So we have, for the last 9 months, been providing what would have been an in-person experience virtually. And that's open to K-12. So that actually covers the 6 to 12 that we're not able to support in the building right now. As I mentioned before, that's supported by a grant. And there's a number of classes that we've been offering virtually around, tutoring and mentoring, and then some partnerships with the Youth Art Alliance, providing art. Is actually able to do that remotely. They get their supplies and they're able to be on the screen. And then a social justice program through Telling It, which is, we know Telling It is one of the leading nonprofit programs in the Washtenaw County area. We have with us tonight Superintendent Zachary Ross, who we wanted to lend the floor just to greet our board and to be able to provide a perspective from the school district on what this program has been and what it continues to be. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Superintendent Zachary Ross, who I know is with us.
Well, thank you to the Board of Education. I know, just like for our K-12 boards, administration can't do the great work that happens without a supportive board. So thank you. And thank you for just giving me an opportunity to be here today. As Brandon talked about, we are part of this whole entire collaboration for change that focuses on the strength of these partnerships. And so I wanted to come today, and I appreciate the invitation to thank the Board of Education personally, President Belanca, Vice President Brandon Tucker, because I'm not sure if just the pictures can help you understand the importance of this learning lab and what this Parkridge, specifically the Parkridge Learning Lab, has meant for us. First of all, the support that we've received from President Belanca, and most recently, the support from Vice President Tucker. He has been on site at the lab, providing weekly support to our team. We meet every single Friday. As we were planning this, there was not one Friday that we missed. But beyond that, it's been going to the sites, talking with partners, ensuring that this site was not only safe, but it would provide that individualization that our students needed. And so Brandon gave you the example of a student who hadn't logged in since March. Mind you, we have people going to the doors, knocking on doors, and still there was some type of way that the student wasn't connecting. And there's others who had spotty attendance remotely. They needed to have a consistent place to be. And it was important that location was close to their homes. That's why Parkridge was the site we wanted to come to first. In addition to just having that support, adult support, the meals that our students receive. They've been getting meals. We have our buses go on Friday into the neighborhoods to drop off food. We have distribution sites, yet many of our students are coming by themselves to those sites. This food that's provided, this food oftentimes is the food that our students have, that meal, that strong meal for breakfast and lunch each day. Not only is it the food, but also the social emotional support. There have already, in the few weeks that the center has been open, connections with social workers, where our students all have experienced trauma this year. And it's just amazing that that service can be provided right there in their neighborhoods. But beyond that, I'll give you one more story. Also on that very first day that Brendan talked about was a family who had really been going through some challenges. The student came, it was a cold day without a coat on, not appropriate boots. And so because they were able to be in person, some adult was able to see them and to see their needs. They asked the student about coat, about boots. And the student expressed that they know they didn't have a coat their size. They didn't have boots, and they actually needed gym shoes as well. Before the student left the center, through this collaboration, the student was able to receive a coat, the boots were given, the shoes were given later on in the week. However, what people talked about was the smile on the mother's face. This mother, there were some English language barriers. This mother's smile told the whole story. The relief that was seen on her face, the joy from the student's smile. And so I just wanted to thank you for extending this partnership. I know you've been committed to having a partnership with K-12 education. However, I just wanted to give a heartfelt thanks specifically for opening up the doors of this learning lab. The work is invaluable, and we are certainly changing the lives of our students with this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Superintendent. Thank you. We really appreciate you being here, and of course, our partnership that we continue to grow. The last slide I have is just to provide you a picture of the Collaboration for Change team. These are some members of that. There, of course, some were not pictured, but of course, Dwayne Hunter to your left, who is the site coordinator for Parkridge, Turquoise Neal, who's actually the principal of the middle school, but she is the lead administrator for Learning Labs as the entire operation. Representative Peterson, who's been a driving force behind this. And then you have, of course, Commissioner Jefferson, Marquand Jackson, and then, of course, Anthony Williamson, our Director of College and Career Readiness. I do have to give a heartfelt thanks to both Anthony and specifically Liz Grabba, who is our manager who oversees our operation. They have and their team are working very hard to make this a reality and are on site each day to make sure that things are running smooth. So with that, if there's any questions from the board, I'll answer those at this time.
Thank you, AVP Tucker. We know many of the members of the Change team, and we appreciate Superintendent being with us tonight. Any trustee comments? Thank you for your presentation.
No, I just wanted to say I had some questions lined up, and AVP Tucker just hit on all of them. All I can say is excellent report. Thank you so much for the work that you and the other folks that you have working with you to make this happen. I still have yet to get to Parkridge to see it firsthand, and I know I will. Actually, as you were talking, I was going over my calendar to pick out a day, which would be great to get over there. But considering that we're in the COVID, I'm gonna have to hold off on it. So, but at any rate, excellent. So just, keep us posted. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Trustee Davis.
Any other comments?
I just have a question. Oh.
Yes, Trustee Hatcher.
Hatcher, is that, yeah. I just wonder, it's marvelous work and great stories. And thank you for bringing them to us. And I'm wondering what we can do more to help. Is there anything that you'd like the trustees to engage in or be part of or contribute to? You seem to be doing it very well without us, but I mean, you have our tacit support, but is there anything more tangible that we could do to help?
I think what you're doing so far and continue to do, Trustee Hatcher, you and the entire board, we're just supporting what we do down there. Of course, it's been a priority for years, but just that support, being able to tell the story. And we, of course, will always, as we always have done, invite the board to the graduation we do at summer camp and other events. But we'll continue to keep you apprised of those and just continue to tell the story.
Okay, well, let us know.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good story. Thank you very much.
Chair
I
Milliken?
just want to put in my 2 cents also that this was a very good report. I really appreciated it.
Thank you so much, Trustee Board.
Yes. Chair Milliken?
President Blanca, yes.
Yes. I'd like to commend Brandon Tucker on the outstanding job that he has done with his team and the commitment, Brandon, that you have shown to make sure this was a success, as well as the superintendent, Alina. She is just so committed to this. They work tirelessly 24/7. So thank you so very, very much. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Good. Monthly reports are next on our agenda. Personnel recommendations as put forth in tab F. The recommendation is that the Board of Trustees approve the monthly personnel recommendations as submitted. Is there support?
Support.
May I have a second?
Second.
Is that Trustee Davis?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. Is there any discussion?
I have some
Hatcher?
comments.
Please.
I'm very excited to see the new Dean of Student Access, Equity, and Inclusion. That we have a replacement who seems to be quite ready for this. I have 2 comments about just how it was presented. First of all, maybe Chris can tell me, who does this person now report to? Because that whole area has changed so much. I can't quite figure that out.
Chair Milliken
Yes.
and Trustee Hatcher.
Yes.
Would you mind if I answered
No,
your
that's fine.
question? Okay, thank you. I didn't know, I believe this must be the time to introduce Dr. Reed. Are you here, Dr. Reed?
Yes, I'm right here.
Oh, there you
Yay.
are. Hi, Dr. Reed. It's so good to see you. Glad for you to hear. Did you mind, Trustee Hatcher? I'd like to introduce him at this time. Dr. Reed comes to us from Eastern Michigan University. And as we mentioned, he's the new Dean of Student Access, Success, Equity, and Inclusion. We're very excited to have him. While at our neighboring institution, EMU, Dr. Reed served as the director of the TRIO Student Support Services, which is a grant-funded program that by the U.S. Department of Education, designed to provide wraparound support services, which is mentoring, tutoring, scholarships, graduate school tours, and more for first-generation and low-income students. Dr. Reed also worked at the University of Michigan and Central Michigan University, ensuring equity for students from a wide scope of academic backgrounds. He has a BAA in Health Administration, an MSA in Public Administration, and he recently completed a PhD in Educational Leadership from EMU. Dr. Reed and his wife, Chris, reside in Detroit with their newborn daughter, Kaylee. Dr. Reed reports to Executive Vice President Hearns, and he will be overseeing the student success and retention area of the academic program. Dr. Hearns, is there anything you would like to add?
I would just add that, Dr. Reed started yesterday, and it was exciting to greet him on campus. We had a small welcoming for him for our team, and we've hit the ground running today with meetings, and we've had a long list of things waiting for him to kind of pick the ball back up with. And we have not made any substantial changes to this position from Dean Jennings. And I think, as Dr. Blanca said, it does continue to report to instruction, which we think is extremely important for us to promote success and persistence and completion with our students. So we're very excited to have them, and we're ready to get to work.
Great. I have one more comment. Hello?
Hi.
Yes, Trustee Hatcher.
and this is for HR, Dr. Reed is listed under instruction. And could there be a sort of administrative / instruction? Because it sort of looks like he's going to be a full-time teacher. And he's under instruction, but he's not an instructor. So I'd like that to be clarified in the report, if that's possible.
Thank you. Noted.
Thank you. Welcome, Dr. Reed.
Great. I'm glad to be here, and I'm excited to start and impact the college. And thank you for selecting me. I'm so excited. That's all I can say.
Great.
Dr. Reed, we're pleased that you're celebrating your second day on campus with us at a Board of Trustees meeting. Welcome. We have a motion before us to approve the personnel recommendations.
I have one more comment about personnel.
Please go ahead, Trustee.
I'm just, am I reading it correct that the new resource officer is a woman?
Yes.
Yay! Yes. I just wanted to say yay.
Yes, you are.
Put that in the minutes. Yay!
Is she with us this evening?
I am ecstatic.
Yay!
Putting that in the record. Okay. Can I have her come to the next meeting?
Please, I'd love to meet you.
Please do. Now, back to the motion in front of us.
Yes. Sorry.
The Board of Trustees approve the personnel recommendations as submitted.
So moved.
Vanessa, please call the roll.
No.
It's already been approved.
Chair Milliken,
Milliken, yes.
Vice Chair Davis,
Davis, yes.
Treasurer DeVarty,
DeVarty, yes.
Secretary Hatcher,
Hatcher, yes.
Trustee Fleming,
Fleming, yes.
Trustee Landau,
Landau, yes.
Trustee McKnight Morton.
McKnight Morton, yes.
Thank you. The next report in front of us are financial reports for December 2020. The recommendation is that the Board of Trustees receive the financial reports for December 2020 as follows: General Fund, Deferred Maintenance Fund, Capital Fund, and the combined schedule of investment, all funds. Is there support?
Support.
Support.
And second?
Yep.
Is there any discussion? EVP Johnson, is there any light that you'd like to shed on this for us?
Great, thanks, Chair McMill. Actually, a couple of things. If we could go to the numbers page there, thank you. I just want to point out for the board that our revenue continues to trend below budget, largely because of tuition, for the same reasons that we spoke in the past. Our winter enrollment was down in credit hours about 3.5%. And there's still time to improve that a bit with our late starts. And however, from a revenue perspective, we're down, as you see, about $1 million. And the reason for that, once again, is that with most of our classes being offered in distance learning mode and our DL rate being below our on-campus rate, that's really what generates that $1 million. You'll also note that student fees is down. That's all in our contact hour fee. And that's solely due to the fact that we're unable to run as many of our labs on campus because of COVID. And a lot of our contact hour fees are driven by our labs. A bright spot in revenues, you'll note state appropriations is trending above plan once again. Our budget had assumed that we were going to have a reduction year over year, which did not manifest itself. The state was able to provide a balanced budget related to state appropriations for us. And lastly, our other revenue and auxiliary revenues relates to our conference center activities and other areas like our contact training, which is down solely because of COVID. So we're down about 3.2 million revenues. However, the variable costs of running the campus is also down. So if you scroll down just a bit, you'll see that expenditures, our total expenditures is below budget by about $4 million. About 2/3 of that savings is in personnel. Both on our full-time side, we have about 34 vacancies that we're averaging. And also our part-time expenditures are down as well. And then our non-personnel costs are also trending well below budget, in large part because we're not on campus in that presence. And the last point that I'll point out for the board is down under the Health and Fitness Center in the transfer section. You will note that we typically at this time of year would have drawn about half of our targeted goal of cash flow out of the fitness center, but because of that closure, we have not been able to do that draw. So that in total, the good news is that although we are down in revenue a significant amount of money, largely in tuition, the cost reductions that we've been able to achieve across the campus have been able to keep us to about a balanced budget for the year. And Chair McMillan, that concludes my comments.
Thank you for that. Any further comments? Any questions of EVP Johnson?
Well, Hatcher, can Hatcher say something?
Trustee Hatcher, please.
There are 34 about full-time vacancies, and we do have a hiring freeze. But in the last spring, we've hired a dean, we've replaced a dean and a vice president. So I'm wondering if there's any anticipated administrative hires beyond the hiring freeze that you can see coming.
You know, at this point in time, Secretary Hatcher, we have been hiring only those critical, essential positions. So typically we have only been filling those that are crucial to keep the strategies and goals and the operations going. And so each and every position is assessed through that lens.
Are there any faculty positions that are going away or coming up? Teaching positions?
There are a number of faculty positions that are vacant, but I think those are all being assessed as part of the upcoming budget process.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments? We have a motion in front of us that has been seconded. Vanessa, would you please call the roll?
Chair Milliken,
Milliken, yes.
Vice Chair Davis,
Davis, yes.
Treasurer DeVarty,
DeVarty, yes.
Secretary Hatcher,
Hatcher, yes.
Trustee Fleming,
Fleming, yes.
Trustee Landau,
Landau, yes.
Trustee McKnight Morton.
McKnight Morton, yes.
Thank you. Facilities Development Reports. UVP Johnson, could you lead us through that, please?
Thank you, Chair Milliken. Really, you will note that a number of our projects, both in deferred maintenance and campus repair maintenance, have been completed or there's been strong progress made. I will point out for the board that our two major projects, which if we could scroll back up to the top of the first page, please. Our two major projects are both the renovation of the ML building and the SC building. And to provide the board a status on that, we will be going out for bid in about a week's time for the ML project. We anticipate being able to bring a recommendation to the board at the March meeting for the construction contract for the ML renovation. So that is right on track. We just did our final review specs for that. And then secondly, for the Student Center building, the Fishbeck firm has gone through an extensive assessment of the HVAC system of the SC. We just sat through a very long meeting last week to assess various options to address this very complex HVAC system and how best to replace it. And that is proceeding nicely. And we would anticipate being able to bring a recommendation to the board for the construction contract for that later in the summer. And Chair Milliken, that concludes my comments.
Thank you. Any questions for EVP Johnson on the development report?
I have a question.
Trustee Hatcher?
Yep. Could you summarize all the roofing issues? Because there's this number 12 is a $90,000 award for repairs of the roof. And number 18 on page 2 is a roofing study. Is that correct? And then there's the Great Lakes roof. Are those the roofs we're talking about? And the Duke roofing appropriation is $92,000. Could you summarize the roofing costs?
Thank you, Secretary Hatcher. That's a great question. So AVP Whipstock, when this year, he and his team, knowing that we've had a number of roof issues over the years, that they actually hired an outside firm to do an infrared study of our roofs, and that was about 30 or 40,000 of cost in and of itself, and that is part of the cost that is represented on item 12. So the IR study is the infrared. That's kind of code for infrared for that.
I see. Yes.
And so as a result of that, there were 4 roofs that were identified of needing repair for various reasons, not all the same reason. And that included the ML gun range. It included the GL building. It included the LA building. And I know I'm forgetting one other one that was in there. So what we've done is for Great Lakes as well. Thank you. Yep. So we've prioritized those roofs. We actually went out for bids for all those roof projects, and then we have prioritized them. And so we actually under one of our projects, as you noted on the last page of this report, there was an award for $92,000 to Duke Roofing to do the GL building. The firing range project, and that's a different contract than the one that we actually have before the board tonight, which we're asking them to approve as a board motion. Our largest one that we will be bringing to the board later in the spring would be the roof repairs for the LA building. And so although we bid it as one large set of projects, and we awarded the bid to one contractor, but each of the contractors had to bid separately for each of those 4 projects. Okay. And Duke Roofing actually won the bid for all 4. Those that require, given their size above 100,000, we are bringing those to the board. So that in total, I think that we are going to have spent in roof repairs over about a 6 to 8 month period, about $400,000 between the IR roof study and then the cost of the related repairs.
Okay. Great, thank you. I was getting dizzy.
Me too.
Thank you. Are there any members of the Board of Trustees that would like to make comments this evening?
Oh, I have one more question.
Trustee Hatcher.
I'm sorry. In terms of, what do we call it? Committed and uncommitted for general maintenance, is it true that we have about $14,000 left? It refers to tab G in terms of what do you call it? The postponed maintenance, the deferred maintenance.
budget?
That's correct, Secretary Hatcher. On the deferred maintenance.
That's it.
Yeah, it was page 5 of the finance report. We had a balance that had not been committed, about 359,000, and we have estimated projects that are yet to be started of about 345,000. So that's the 14,000 that you make reference to.
Yeah.
However, that you will note in that if you could scroll down, please, to the next page in. Oh, right there at the very bottom, there's the 345,000. The first item is a contingency fund. So that 200,000 is funds that we've set aside for an unanticipated repair that might come through at any time. So really that is a reserve fund to help to protect against the unexpected.
Okay, so the total pending is a little more than that in case we need it. Thank you. I'm sorry to go backwards, but I appreciate your comments.
Yeah, thank you.
And Secretary Hatcher, forgive me for not addressing you by your proper title.
Ruth, that's the one.
Thank you. Now, are there members of the Board of Trustees that would like to make any remarks to the meeting tonight? President Blanca, do you have any other thoughts you'd like to share with us?
Oh, only one. Well, actually, I have a lot, but I will narrow it down since you were so gracious to hear my presentation in the beginning. We're very proud of the 2,500 students that will be honored this week for academic excellence. And I'd like to thank past Chair Fleming for agreeing to give the congratulatory remarks to those students. Thank you. And I also wanted to publicly congratulate our Police Academy faculty and staff for the program's recent accreditation by the International Association of Directors of Law Enforcement Standards and Training. And what's unique about this is that WC's program was the first ever to receive an award of excellence status from this organization with a high achieving score of 109.2, which is unprecedented for international accrediting body. Thank you.
Great.
Wow.
That's it, Chair.
Thank you. We now move into old business as written on the agenda. Adobe Software Enterprise License Contract Renewal. The recommendation is that the Board of Trustees approve a contract with CDW for the purchase of a 3-year Adobe Enterprise Term License Agreement in an amount not to exceed $219,658.80. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second. Yeah.
I have a motion and I have support. Is there any discussion? CIO Kruger, would you like to add anything to the material that's in front of us?
I don't think I have anything to add. I could certainly speak about it if you would like, but I think I did that last time. So if you have any questions, happy to answer those. But I don't think I have anything to add beyond what I said last time.
So far, everyone sounds content. Are there any other questions? If not, Vanessa, would you please call the roll?
Chair Milliken,
Milliken, yes.
Vice Chair Davis,
Davis, yes.
Treasurer DeVarty,
DeVarty, yes.
Secretary Hatcher,
Hatcher, yes.
Trustee Fleming,
Fleming, yes.
Trustee Landau,
Landau, yes.
Trustee McKnight Morton.
Ignite, yes.
Motion is approved. Thank you. Technical and Industrial Building Window Replacement Contract. The recommendation is that the Board of Trustees approve a contract with Kelvin and Company in the amount of $112,000 to replace the remaining original windows in the T&I building. Do I hear support?
Support.
Is there a second?
Second. Nice meeting.
Thank you. Is there any discussion?
I guess I have a question. So of the three bidders, one of them was disqualified for not attending the site visit?
That is correct, Treasurer DeVarty. This was a mandatory visit.
Okay. Gotcha.
And so they just chose to not attend.
Thank you.
If there are no other questions, Vanessa, would you please call the roll?
Chair Milliken,
Milliken, yes.
Vice Chair Davis,
Davis, yes.
Treasurer DeVarty,
DeVarty, yes.
Secretary Hatcher,
Hatcher, yes.
Trustee Fleming,
Fleming, yes.
Trustee Landau,
Landau, yes.
Trustee McKnight Morton.
McKnight Morton, yes.
Thank you. The motion is supported. Our next item on the agenda, Great Lakes Building Roof Restoration Project. The recommendation is that the Board of Trustees approve a contract with Duke Roofing in the amount of $173,700 to perform this work. Do I hear a motion of support?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Chair Milliken,
Milliken, yes.
Vice Chair Davis,
Davis, yes.
Treasurer DeVarty,
DeVarty, yes.
Secretary Hatcher,
Hatcher, yes.
Trustee Fleming,
Fleming, yes.
Trustee Landau,
Landau, yes.
Trustee McKnight Morton.
McKnight Morton, yes.
Thank you. We'll move into new business for discussion on telephone and fiber services contract. CIO Kruger, can you describe what you're contemplating here, please?
Yes, thank you very much, Chair Milliken. I appreciate the opportunity to speak about this briefly. So with the expiration of our student fiber internet service and our telephone connectivity contracts, we went out to bid for these services. The phone service has proven to be a bit unreliable of late. This offered us the opportunity to go to bid to find a provider that would provide better service and also obtain better rates on both services. We were successful on both objectives, which is a great thing. After a review of the bids, 123.net was selected as the best and least expensive qualified vendor. After reviewing the bids, we determined that a 3-year contract offered the best combination of price while allowing us to reassess the ever-changing market in 3 years. So based on a 3-year contract, cost and savings are as follows. For 1 gigabit, which is what we have now, it would be $43,200. This equates to 65% savings. For 2 gigabit, which is twice what we have now, this is a little over $79,000 for 35% savings compared to what we have now. And on the phone service side, a little over $48,000 equates to 45% savings. So the college recommends that a 3-year contract for telephone and fiber services be awarded to 123.net for an amount not to exceed $130,000. Based on current usage, we recommend 1 gigabit initially and request the ability to increase the bandwidth to 2 gigabit or beyond during the life of the contract if required based on usage. This contract will be covered by ITS budgeted resources. Have any questions or need any further details?
I have a question.
Yes.
I don't know anything about telephones, but since we approve these, do we ever get to see the ITS budget and its resources, or is that beyond our purview?
I think that's a great question. Is that something that Bill Johnson or President Block would like to answer?
Certainly, Secretary Hatcher, we, as part of the budget review process and the materials that we provide to the board, we always provide a 2-year history for each of the departments across the college of their budgeted expenditures broken out between personnel and non-personnel. And so that we would absolutely continue to support that as we go into this next budget cycle.
So we see that in the regular budget that you present? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes, that is one of the 4 main documents that we provide to the board when we present the upcoming year's annual budget.
Ah, the annual budget. Thank you.
I've got 2 questions.
Yes.
So I'm looking at the bidders, the 3 bidders, and trying to make, I don't understand a lot of these line items, but the operative thing to me seems to be the one between the line between the 2 heavy black lines, which gives me a monthly split. Is that accurate way of looking at this?
Yes, that's correct.
I'm seeing a $1,339 a month fee,
right,
or price, as cheaper than the other 2.
That's correct.
I'm totally good with this. Who's the current provider?
So right now we have 2 providers. We have Comcast for the fiber, and we have FirstCom for the phone, for the PRIs.
And so we're going with a new contractor on both counts, and they're coming in cheaper in the entirety than the other 2 put together.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is our institution unique in seeking these upgrades, or are all institutions of higher learning going through similar challenges right now?
Yeah, so I would say we are not unique. I mean, as the telecom and the network industry goes, prices have a tendency to go down. So, that's why you kind of find a balance as to not signing generally a, 5 or 10 or, 20-year contract, because, prices go down. So, because, technology gets better. So I would not say that we are, unique. I was quite pleased in the amount of savings we were able to obtain. And I don't have a benchmark as to how much others save, but I was quite pleased with the prices we were able to obtain.
Thank you for your report. That's great. Any other questions?
But one more. When does the contract take effect?
So the contract will take effect as soon as it's approved, and there's some, fiber lines, et cetera, that we need to get installed. So just as soon as it's approved and we can get the fiber and everything installed, then it will.
Would it be beneficial to getting this in place sooner if we approved it tonight?
From the standpoint of savings, yes, it would be beneficial if it was approved, but it's not anything that I would consider, mission critical, that I would make that request, but I certainly would not argue with it if you would like to make that proposal.
Well, if there's no objection from other members of the board, I'd like to move that we modify the agenda to take this up as an action item tonight.
There's a motion. Is there support?
Support.
Any further discussion on moving this to an action item on tonight's agenda?
I just have a question. This is Vice Chair Davis. Then this goes through and making this an action item and it's all approved, then how quickly is this set in place? Do you call them like the next morning, and say, hey, okay, we're ready to go? Or how is this work going forward?
So we will need to get the appropriate combination of copper and fiber lines in place for the phone service. So that's going to take a little bit of time to get that all rolling. Obviously, the sooner we can get it started, the sooner we can get it in. So that's really the biggest hurdle that we have to cross.
Okay.
So I believe we have a motion in front of us to move this as an action item. Do we take a vote on that before voting on the motion?
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Chair Milliken,
Milliken, yes.
Vice Chair Davis,
Yes.
Treasurer DeVarty,
DeVarty, yes.
Secretary Hatcher,
Hatcher, yes.
Trustee Fleming,
Fleming, yes.
Trustee Landau,
Landau, yes.
Trustee McKnight Morton.
McKnight Morton, yes.
So now I move the main item that we approve a contract to purchase telephone and fiber services from 123.net for an amount not to exceed $130,000.
Thank you. Is there support?
Support.
Second.
Is there any further discussion?
I have one question. Hatcher,
Yes.
what happens if it turns out that they're terrible and everybody complains about the telephone service? Can we cancel this? Can we change it? Is there provision for conversation about improving?
Language here, but let's let CIO Kruger respond.
Yes, so if we are unable to get the problem fixed, and based on the feedback I've learned, we've done some research on this vendor, and I've had a very positive, review on these vendors. So I'm not all that concerned about it, but we would certainly try and get the issue addressed if it was a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Question.
Any other discussion? Vanessa, please call the roll.
Chair Milliken,
Milliken, yes.
Vice Chair Davis,
Davis, yes.
Treasurer DeVarty,
DeVarty, yes.
Secretary Hatcher,
Hatcher, yes.
Trustee Fleming,
Fleming, yes.
Trustee Landau,
Landau, yes.
Trustee McKnight Morton.
Diana, you're muted.
Oh, yes.
All right, the motion passes. And we've come to adjournment. I want to thank you all for bearing with me in my inaugural visit down the road here as chair, and welcome all the other new officers. We'll look forward to our meeting together in February. Do I hear a motion for adjournment of the meeting?
So move.
Is there support? We have support. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Chair Milliken,
Milliken, yes.
Vice Chair Davis,
Davis, yes.
Treasurer DeVarty,
DeVarty, yes.
Secretary Hatcher,
Hatcher, yes.
Trustee Fleming,
Fleming, yes.
Trustee Landau,
Landau, yes.
Trustee McKnight Morton.
McKnight Morton, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.